Well, here's Vishnu, this grand deity, who is the counterplayer to Shiva. Now, in the popular way of talking about Indian gods, we say Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the preserver, Shiva, the destroyer. But actually, the two great gods are Vishnu and Shiva. Shiva, the world dancer, he's dancing on a little dwarf whose name is forgetfulness. That's ourselves, forgetful of our eternal identity with Shiva. This right hand holds a little drum, and the drum goes tick, 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 tick. That is the tick of time, which creates the world of time. And the world of time is as a veil thrown across the face of eternity, and we cannot penetrate it. Eternity is not a long time. It has nothing to do with time. It is the dimension that is occluded from our experience by the veil of time. This hand holds a flame, and that is the flame that is to burn away the veil of time. This hand says, do not be afraid. This hand is called the elephant hand or teaching hand. It points to the lifted left foot, which means release. The right foot down on the back of forgetfulness. And so this dance of creation, destruction, and passing time holds in its center the still point of the head. And this is what lives in us. We do not feel the weight of Shiva, his foot, on our back any more than the little dwarf does, but he's there, and his dance is to call us to that knowledge. Now we've got Vishnu. Vishnu is the other great deity of the traditional pantheon. This is his incarnation as a boar. There was a flood. The whole world was drowned in a flood. There are many floods in the Puranic tradition. And here's the goddess Earth, who is down in the abyss of the waters. And Vishnu turns himself into a boar, a gigantic boar, which plunges then to the bottom of the water and takes the goddess and carries her back to light. Sometimes she hangs onto his tusk there. And it's a grand, grand story of him going down, and she in the abyss seeing this light come down to her and then carry her back again. And as he's carrying her back, he says, every time I carry you this way, that means every 90 billion years this thing happens. And the wonderful thing is this expansion of the notion of time, which diminishes our notion of the importance of the present moment and makes it possible for us to see it as but a flash on the surface of the waters of eternity. This is another appearance of Vishnu as the man-lion, Narasimha. This was an atheist. And like many atheists, he had the misfortune to have a very religious son. And he was sick and tired of hearing his son talk about Vishnu. So one day he said, well, if Vishnu's everywhere, let him come out of that column. The column split. Out comes Vishnu as a lion, grabs this chap, whose name is Golden Garment, rips up his belly, lays him on his knee, and begins eating his guts like spaghetti. And this is a favorite story in the popular theater. I mean, when Vishnu is eating those guts, everybody loves it.
In the story, The Humbling of Indra, Shiva tells Indra that there are two aspects of life, the eternal and the revelation of the eternal through our experiences in the world. What exactly is the revelation? What is the eternal that Shiva speaks of? He is speaking of the transcendent energy consciousness that Joe talks about. There are different ways to define it, all difficult and all just approximations because, as Joe says, these ideas are beyond words. But to begin to understand them, we must take our own ideas of consciousness and God and turn them on their head. Joe does just this as he explores the spiritual tradition of yoga as it has been practiced and refined for thousands of years in India.
Now, what I'm going to be